Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Emma Lingard. As Science and Engineering Week gets underway, we visit a group of girls who were enticed to try engineering. And joining me in the studio is Daisy Morgan, a children's author from Barton. But first, it's over to James Dunn for a roundup of the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, young people get a shock as they find out how old their lungs are in Grimsby, and the fly tipper who dumped details of his own property. North East Lincolnshire Council sent out a warning this week by issuing a father with an order forcing him to take responsibility for his children. Roger Chandler of Hadley Road, Immingham, refused to accept that his 3 children behaved unacceptably despite cases of bullying, bad language, assault and criminal damage on the Reedsmere estate. As a last resort, he was given the parenting order, which means that he can be fined up to £1,000 and be legally held to account for his children's actions.
The parenting order, this is the first one that's been offered by the courts within Grimsby, within North East Lincolnshire actually, and it is a way of structuring the support that we can offer to this family to ensure that they get the right support and that they are actively engaged in every effort to improve their outcomes.
A Louth man's been given a 3-year football banning order after he was arrested at the Cambridge United v Grimsby Town match. Paul Pearson, 41 of Kidgate, was arrested for possession of a firework at the match on February the 15th. He was given the ban at Cambridge Magistrates Court and ordered to pay £320 in a fine, £85 costs, and must surrender his passport on certain days when matches take place abroad. Hope Street Medical Centre is looking for buddies to help people quit smoking. A quarter of people in North East Lincolnshire smoke, so on No Smoking Day yesterday, various agencies were in Freshney Place warning people of the potential dangers and offering help to stop. People of all ages took breath tests which measure the level of damage smoking has already done, and for many it was a real eye-opener. Now the Health Service is looking for people who have already given up to help people who want to kick the habit.
And once the damage to your lungs has been done, unfortunately that can't be reversed, but by stopping smoking you can halt the progression of the disease. So as it's No Smoking Day today, we've come to promote smoking cessation services and hopefully prevent further episodes of COPD, because this area does have quite a high incidence of COPD and smoking.
My lungs are 10 years older than they should be.
I've got a smoking lungs or something, age of 54 or something.
What?
And I'm only 18.
What did that make you think?
It's bad, that is. It's like triple my age or something, that is.
Young age of 59, so it's not too good. So definitely want to give it up.
Schools across the region will be concentrating on science and engineering next week, subjects that a leading engineering executive said are badly lacking. The head of Phillips 66 in the UK said that there is a skills shortage in science and maths, which makes it difficult to find engineers. As a result, he says that the UK is falling behind other engineering nations. But schools in the area will be placing a special emphasis on these subjects for National Science and Engineering Week, which starts tomorrow. There will also be a number of public events, and to find out what's going on near you, visit the British Science Association's website.
There's a high need for skilled labour entering the workforce. I think engineering and industry really underpins the UK economy. And what we find is there is a skill set shortage. And if you look on a global basis, for example, the UK economy needs around 100,000 STEM experts entering the workforce, STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths, on an annual basis to hold status quo. In the UK, we typically see around 23,000 engineering graduates a year, and you compare that across the global spectrum. India produces 8 times as many, China produces 20 times as many. So nationally, we're falling down the innovation table on a global basis.
Representatives from the Humber are showcasing the region at a renewables conference in Barcelona this week. Team Marine Humber have welcomed delegates from countries all over Europe, including Denmark, France and Germany at the European Wind Energy Association exhibition, which ends today. The Humber LEP is now looking for more local companies to represent the region at 4 more conferences in Aberdeen, Glasgow, Hamburg and Manchester. The places are subsidised, and Humber LEP manager Richard Kendall says it's a great chance for businesses to showcase the area and themselves. A landlord who dumped rubbish in the Caister countryside containing details of his own property has been ordered to pay £1,000 for fly tipping. Manjit Singh Sidhu of Budleigh Close Healing dumped household waste, including rubbish, carpets and mattresses, in a field between Fonaby Top and Great Grimsby. When West Lindsey District Council went to investigate, they found details of one of Sidhu's properties among the rubbish. He was fined £500 and ordered to pay another £500 in costs at Grimsby Magistrates Court. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.
Now, there's a big push to get more youngsters interested in science and engineering at school in order to pursue a career afterwards. Locally, an organisation called BEEP, Business, Enterprise and Education Partnership, hosted an event just for the girls in a drive to get more females interested in engineering. With a shortage of female engineers in the country, an event was held just for the girls to give them a taste of engineering.
If you look at the economy as a whole, there's a high need for skilled labour entering the workforce. I think engineering and industry really underpins the UK economy. And what we find is there is a skill set shortage. And if you look on a global basis, for example, the UK economy needs around 100,000 STEM experts entering the workforce, STEM, science, technology, engineering, maths, on an annual basis to hold status quo. In the UK, we typically see around 23,000 engineering graduates a year, and you compare that across the global spectrum. India produces 8 times as many, China produces 20 times as many. So nationally, we're falling down the innovation table on a global basis.
According to Julian, only 12% of entrants are female and only 9% go into engineering. One graduate who is working in this industry is Zoe Sparling, who was Apprentice of the Year in 2012-13.
I think the thing is, girls know it is a male-dominated industry, so I don't think people necessarily go into it because of that. They think it's just going to be dominated by males. They're going to be on their own kind of thing. And you just have to kind of prove yourself. I didn't really know what I wanted to do until sort of year 11. I always loved maths and science, so Phillips 66 came in, had a talk to us about engineering, and that made me want to be an engineer. So.
With a range of jobs on show, the future engineers were able to get a taste of life in what is seen as a male-dominated industry, which showed how important events like this are.
I think they're really, really important because it just gives them, it shows that real people go into these type of jobs, that females can do these jobs, and it just brings it back to reality, the fact that, the options are out there for them if they're keen and they're willing to work hard. So, I think it's really important.
The key ingredient, though, was whether the girls wanted to be engineers.
The welding really interested me, watching people actually weld them and see what it was like.
When we had a look round, I thought instrumentation was kind of the thing that I was looking for, and because it's more like hands-on things instead of just sat there doing nothing.
I've always been more beauty, kind of, but then I've had today to get the chance to look round it, and I don't know what the word is, it's changed. I want to go into engineering.
Now, my guest in the studio today is Daisy Morgan, a children's author from Barton on Humber. Many people will dream of being a published author, and it's taken Daisy 10 years to get there. And after having been inspired by Enid Blyton's stories as a youngster, she's finally written her own. Well, welcome, Daisy, to the show. Now, you've brought along some of the characters from your stories. Briefly explain to us then, what are the stories about?
The stories are about the magical world of Fingley.
Okay.
The magical world of Fingley exists in children's dreams.
Right.
So when children go to sleep in the evening, they're unaware that this little bear at the front, called Doddle,
right,
is quite likely to visit them in their dreams and whisk them away to the magical world of Fingley.
Okay. And what happens in this magical world then?
Well, Doddle usually spies on children who are needing a life lesson or something joyous and an adventure to experience. So the first book, It's a Doddle to Care, is about a little boy called Tom who was afraid to show his feelings for fear of ridicule from his classmates.
Right.
So his little adventure is about it's a good job to care. for people and animals.
Okay. Now, I have to ask, what inspired you to write children's stories?
I've always liked writing and reading from being a young girl.
Okay.
My childhood wasn't a very happy childhood, really. And I was never allowed to express the creative side and drawings and writing. Enid Blyton was one of my favourite authors.
Right.
And a book called The Golden Wonder Book that was full of Hans Christian Andersen, poems and things like that. I used to get underneath her covers at night time with my torch, read the book, and always been inspired. And having 5 grandchildren of my own now, I've got a really good reason to write.
It's fabulous. Now, like you say, each of these stories obviously has that moral tale to tell. And in the book, they get these cards, don't they? Just want to explain how these cards work.
These are the little cards that Doddle Bear will give to the child in the dream. When the child wakes up in the morning, mysteriously they find a Doddle card in their bed.
Right.
So the question comes, was this a dream or did it really happen?
Right, yes.
So in each of the books and the back flap, there's their own card for the kiddies to cut out and keep.
Right, right. So this is it. You've got a nice story to tell and you've got these wonderful little bear characters. You've put a lot of effort into this, haven't you? Has it been literally 10 years to get to where you are now?
Literally 10 years, yes. Started with this bear.
Right.
This bear, the original Reiki bear, yes. And I approached Mary Thorpe, the oldest toy maker in England, if they would make this bear from my design. It's specifically made with the shaped face. It's got the heart-shaped face. Is a heart and legs. And then next came the little Doddle bear.
Right.
Doddle means doing ordinary deeds lovingly.
Okay.
So that's what I encourage children to do, and people, adults as well.
Yeah.
If you can do a deed of kindness, that's wonderful.
Oh, it's fabulous. Now, if people want these books, where do you think? Where can people buy these from?
They can get them from the Fingley website at the moment, but hopefully we'll be going in retail stores soon.
Okay, so that if people locally wanted to, they can go onto your website and have a look.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, to get to this stage as well, did you go on any writing courses?
I've been on a few, yeah. I think you need to do. You need to be around other writers to be encouraged, and it's about getting the words down. Don't much about getting a paragraph straight or anything. It's just get the words down as they're unfolding, and that's one thing I got encouraged to do.
Okay.
And then you can put it into some kind of order.
Because that's it, I suppose there is that gift to storytelling, isn't there? And
so.
knowing what makes the audience tick, I suppose, isn't it?
And I think as a mum, as well with children, you can make your own stories up at bedtimes. So that's one thing I used to do quite a lot.
And I suppose with 5 grandchildren, you've got an audience there for you to test your stories out. How have they responded to them?
Very, very good, yeah. They've range from 15 down to 2, 3.
Oh.
Yeah, obviously the little one, he doesn't know Jacob, but the others do.
That's fabulous. So what's next in the pipeline then? Have you got other stories?
Yeah, there's 3 waiting to be published. And there's one I'm writing at the moment, which is fabulous. I'm really enjoying doing that. And in this book, we will get to know the identity of Fingley.
Right.
Because who is Fingley?
Okay.
It's the magical world of Fingley, but who is Fingley?
So there's a bit of a mystery in these tales. So you need to, you need to keep reading them rather, and you need to keep writing them as you go along. Well, they're brilliant. Well, thank you so much for coming in,
Thank
Daisy.
you.
It's fabulous. So, if people do want those books, obviously go visit the website. Wonderful. Thank you very much for coming in.
You.
Well, that brings us to the end of another programme, and we love hearing from you. So send your news stories to news@estuary.tv, or if you're on social media rather, you can tweet us, just look for Estuary TV, or maybe drop us a line via our Facebook page, or pick up the phone and give us a call on Grimsby 01472 315 561. Until tomorrow, goodbye.